Welcome back to my channel, Easy Peasy Vocab. Thank you all so much for subscribing and liking my content. One of our subscribers, Vamshi, asked me to do a video on how to write present and past tense stories. And here it is. In the first visual, you can see a dog going on a skateboard. Mickey rides his skateboard. That means the event is happening right now in the present, so rides is the present tense. Mickey rode his skateboard. The past tense of rides is rode. That means the event has already happened. And rode is an irregular verb because it is changing the spelling of the verb rides. You can learn more about verbs, past, present, and future tenses in All About Basic Verb Tenses. That is in my playlist. Now let's go into the stories. Tim and the popcorn business. I've written a story in present tense and then changed the same story into past tense so that you can better understand the tenses. Tim loves popcorn. In the right side of the slide, you can see a visual where Tim is eating popcorn. You can also see a popcorn machine. Tim loves popcorn. He eats popcorn all day long. He even buys it in large bags from the store. He finally buys a popcorn machine. This machine helps him to make lots of popcorn at once. Since Tim and his friends love popcorn, they start a popcorn business. They pop, sack, and sell popcorns to families in the neighborhood. Tim is thinking of running his own popcorn factory. These events are taking place in the present. They're happening in the present. So the verbs loves, eats, buys, helps, love, start, pop, sack, sell, and is are the present forms of the verbs. Now let's change those present forms into past tenses. Tim loved popcorn. That means this event happened in the past. He loved popcorn. He ate popcorn all day long. He even bought it in large bags from the store. He finally bought a popcorn machine. This machine helped him to make lots of popcorn at once. Since Tim and his friends loved popcorn, they started a popcorn business. They popped, sacked, and sold popcorns to families in the neighborhood. Tim thought of running his own popcorn factory. So, here what did we do? To change the tense, we simply added ed to some of the verbs. But there are other verbs which are irregular and they change the spelling. So, the past tense of love is loved, eat is ate, buy is bought, help is helped, start is started, pop is popped, sack is sacked. But the past tense of sell is sold. This is an irregular verb. And thought is also the past tense of the verb think. Did you get it? Now let's go into the next story. The dog and his shadow. A dog carries a piece of meat in his mouth. On the right side, you can see a dog with a piece of meat in his mouth. He crosses over a river on a low bridge. He looks down into the water and sees his reflection. It looks like another dog with a piece of meat larger than his. So, he snaps at the other dog's meat. When he does, his own meat drops into the water. Now, the dog loses his meal. So, we have described all the events that saying that they are happening right now. So they are in the present tense. Now let's convert all those verbs into past tense. A dog carried a piece of meat in his mouth. He crossed over a river on a low bridge. He looked down into the water and saw his reflection. It looked like another dog with a piece of meat larger than his. So he snapped at the other dog's meat. When he did, his own meat dropped into the water. Now the dog lost his meal. So the past tense of carry is carried, cross, crossed, look, looked, see, saw. This is an irregular verb. Look, looked, snap, snapped, does, did, drop, dropped, loses, lose is lost. The past tense of lose is lost. This is also an irregular verb. In the second story, it shows that the dog already lost the meat in his mouth. So, what is the moral of the story? Don't be greedy and be happy with what you have. The next one is family time. Let's take a look at the present tense of the story. At our house, family time is in the evening during dinner. We discuss the events of the day. We laugh over the funny things and feel sad about the bad things. We listen to each other, nod our heads, and give advice freely. This special time together is a tradition and we value it highly. Basically, we are talking about the story happening every day, every time in our house. So, it is in the present tense. Now, let's convert all those verbs into past tense and see how the story looks like. At our house, family time was in the evening during dinner. We discussed the events of the day. We laughed over the funny things and felt sad about the bad things. We listened to each other, nodded our heads, and gave advice freely. This special time together was a tradition and we valued it highly. That means we are telling them that these events happened yesterday or a month ago or sometime in the past. So the past tense of is was, discuss is discussed, laugh is laughed, feel is felt. This is an irregular verb. Listen, listened, nod, nodded, give, gave. Again an irregular verb. Is, was, value, valued. Got it? The next one is a candy bar. Let's see the present tense of the story. You can see a boy yawning, stretching and yawning. And there's a chocolate also. At 3 o'clock, William stretches and yawns. As he feels hungry, he gets up and walks to the kitchen. Then he checks several cabinets before he finds what he's searching for. What is he searching for? A candy bar. He then eats the chocolate and walks back to his bedroom and sleeps again. Now let's look at the past tense of this. At 3 o'clock, William stretched and yawned. As he felt hungry, he got up and walked to the kitchen. Then he checked several cabinets before he found what he was searching for. What he was searching for? What was he searching for? A candy bar. He then ate the chocolate and walked back to his bedroom and slept again. So, the past tense of stretch is stretched, yawn is yawned, feels is felt. This is an irregular verb. Get is got, walk, walked, check, checked, find, found. This is also an irregular verb. Is, was, eat, ate. Also an irregular verb. Walk, walked, sleep is slept. Got it? The next one is Mrs. Ava's pottery class. You can see Mrs. Ava in the picture and she's telling something to the students. Mrs. Ava needs helpers to go get boxes of clay. Tim and Jim raise their hands. The teacher tells them where to find the clay. They go into the closet to get them. Then Mrs. Ava shows the kids how to make a clay pot. You can see that in the image. Tim and Jim passes the clay to everyone. Finally, all the kids begin working. Everyone is having fun. What an amazing day it is. So, these events are happening right now. So, it is in the present tense. Now, let's change those present tense verbs into past tense and see how the story looks like. Mrs. Ava needed helpers to go get boxes of clay. Tim and Jim raised their hands. The teacher told them where to find the clay. They went into the closet to get them. Then Mrs. Ava showed the kids how to make a clay pot. Tim and Jim passed the clay to everyone. Finally, all the kids began working. Everyone was having fun. What an amazing day it was. So this shows that these events had already happened. And so the story is in the past tense. The past tense of need is needed, raise, raised, tell is told. This is an irregular verb. Go, went, also an irregular verb. Show, showed, pass, passed, begin, began. The spelling is changing. Irregular verb is, was. Hope you all understood. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe and comment for more videos. Thank you so much.